Running or not, Clinton returns to newsstands this week. Smiling big, she appears on the cover of the latest New York Magazine. It's her first major interview since leaving the State Department. We want to talk to the man who interviewed her and wrote the piece, New York Magazine contributing editor Joe Hagan. Joe, great get, one all of us are try to get sort of ad nauseum over the week. So tell me, what is your takeaway on the big question about her intent?
Well, she's come out for the first time here and said, I'm thinking about it. So she's weighing it. I think that she's coming out during an interesting week when all of the Clinton world is gathering in New York for the Clinton Global Initiative annual event, and she's sort of sending out a message out there, two messages. One, she's thinking about it, and the other is that give me some time to think about it, or at least let's put it up the road a bit, because I think that she's concerned, or her staff is concerned, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves and have the, be seen as a front runner that's so strong, and like what happened in '08, basically, right, where she's,
Let me ask you, I want to read one of the quotes in the article from her, where you said to her, you're wrestling with this idea. Do you wrestle with the idea of running? She says, I do. And then she goes on to say, and I'll do whatever I can from whatever position I find myself in to advocate for the values and the policies I think are right for the country. I will just continue to weigh what the factors are that would influence me making a decision one way or the other. She has a discussion with you about the many things that she was involved in, the Obama administration, among them the death of bin Laden, and you talked about how it was sort of a perfect quote that cuts both ways for her.
Yes, that's right. Well, she emphasized her bond with Obama and how she had been so close to the vicinity of the commander-in-chief, up close, front row seat, she said, to everything that happened, that she was very instrumental in telling him to try to take that risk, and that they kind of sweated that out together, and that this was like a moment in which she sort of, shared the commander-in-chief, kind of the pressures of that with him, and, in more or less telling, it was a situation in which she's in a position much like being in the commander-in-chief role, and showing that she has had that experience.
Right, I'm qualified. Let me
Yes.
ask you about what I thought was a really interesting part of this article, and that is when you talk about how some of the people around Hillary Clinton said, oh, here's a couple of people that you should talk to, and you go to those people who don't want their names attached to say, oh yeah, she's running. It always says to me when someone says you ought to go talk to this person, that that's really what they want to be saying.
That's right. Well, the most fascinating part of the experience for me was talking to many of her former staffers from the State Department and some of her closer friends, and they are much more open about, here's why she's qualified, here's what happened at the State Department that